Hello, this week in landscaping. I actually have things behind me now, which I feel excited about, which you don't care about, but I do. Here is my first picture. This is exciting. This is me walking into HEB, and HEB started to put plants out again. This is last week, which is like a clear sign that the world is starting to think about fall and fall planting. You got a purple fountain grass here. You got a Japanese yew here, another decorative grass. Looks like that's an oleander. Is that an oleander? I should I should have looked before I started this video. I don't think it's an oleander. Got a yucca here, some um, salvias. Anyway, fall planting is around the corner, and retail is starting to show that. Um, Reminds me, just HEB is such a powerhouse in like consumer goods. That had nothing to do with this video, but I just said it. Anyway, HEB's got plants. That's a big deal. And fall planting is around the corner. Now, I'm using this picture to talk about a handful of things, and then we'll go into some critters and rain, and it should be done pretty quick. Took this picture last week. There's a lot of interesting things going on in here, at least for a landscaper. This is a great neighborhood on the north side of Buda. Um, we have a bunch of customers in here. But you can see, I'm just going to point out some cool plants that work very well natively. One, these are lantanas. These are white trailing lantanas. Um, just like all lantanas, they do really well in full sun and they're very resilient. And so when you've got a hangover like this, not a hangover, an overhang like this, I'm not hungover, let me be clear. Um, they do great. They look great. And if you can get the like same colored plants all the way across. It's really good. Got these purple fountain grasses, really good for texture. There's more decorative grasses in here. These are Japanese yews. You got, I think this is the desert spoon over here, and then you got a bunch of other plants. Now, what's going to be interesting here, one, these plants do great um, in the heat. They survive really well, and they'll do well even in the winter. But they'll almost all except for maybe that desert spoon, need to be cut back significantly. Oh, I guess we don't cut back the Japanese yews either. Those are the evergreen plants in this picture. Um, but they almost all need to be cut back very significantly come the first hard freeze. And so this will look pretty bare. That's okay. You can make choices around when you cut back the grasses specifically, because those can hold a really cool shape even when they're crisped up. But you definitely want to cut them back before they start growing back in Marchish, maybe or maybe late February, depends on the year. Um, so just some things there from a plant identification, and these are all perennials, meaning they last multiple years. Just a good design. I took this picture because it's a lizard and lizards are cool. Little guy. Here, let me get pretty close. That's it. This is a cast iron um, plant. They're really resilient and do really well in shade. There's information for you. Also, apparently lizards like them. And then I took this picture. This is an interesting one. It was like leaf pods. This is on artificial turf. This is my backyard. And I just took it because this tiny amount of rain here, in theory, could be enough to house mosquitoes, which is nuts. Meaning like larvae could be hatched, and so like I guess this spot right here would get dried out with just a little bit of sun. But keep in mind if you are leaving a whole bunch of debris in your yard, even leaves, and like the base of this could end up having some mosquito population. That's why you want to be really careful on all the stuff you can control. If you can pick up leaves or you can make sure you don't have overgrown plants, stuff like that will have a big impact on your mosquito population. Last note I will say in this video is last week we got some really great little flash storms that came through hard and fast. Not every neighborhood got them. Um, Ours got rain, I think 2 days, and it was just like real hard, really fast. I got soaked one of the days when I was up at a client's house on Thursday, I think. Um, but it can be tricky because you get this really hard rain really fast and you think you're good from a landscaping perspective. And in fact, your irrigation system might have a rain turnoff. Like mine turned off for our Thursday because it knew rain had come through and or was coming through. But it ended up being like a quarter of an inch, which is not enough for what your landscape needs at this time of year. So while I will take every bit of rain and the cooling effects of it, just make sure that you don't get tricked in your irrigation system, doesn't get tricked into thinking that you have enough water in your yard last week. I would just encourage everyone to make sure that they still got that watering in, that they're watching it because it wasn't enough, even though it was really good. I'll take it. That's all I have this week. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.